All right, hello and welcome everyone. It is a lovely morning, or afternoon, or evening, depending on what part of the world you are actually in. I got yelled at by Hindu last week for it, but it's week 4 of the Challenger Cup. I'm Zidon, here with the one, the only Hindu man today.
Good day, good day! And we're back once again. We're going to bring you round 1 of Legion up against the most amazing team name I'd ever heard of. But it appears they weren't able to make it. Actually, no, that was Exile Order that we were supposed to be playing, but they forfeited, so we lost that game. So instead, we thought we'd bring you Ullr against the Jamaican Hopscotch Krew. That's right.
Mm-hmm. It's such an epic team name, it's actually breaking the overlay. I did not foresee a team name being quite that long.
Is it because it was Hopscotch? Like, they're
just hopping and skipping around all over the top corner of the overlay. Breaking everything. Terrible. Terrible stuff.
I see. Well, we're in picks and bans right now. As you can see, the bans are coming through quite thick and fast. We're going to see Hun Batson Circuit banned out by Ullr, and across the way, Sylvanas currently banned out by Jamaican Hopscotch Krew. I can't call him that the whole time. JHK. That's what we'll go with.
It works nice and short, sweet, gets to the point. I'm actually liking the Hun Bats ban these days. Bastet has been one of the gods. Season 2, everyone's like, oh, Bastet, so great, so powerful. We have to ban her out, but a lot of the play in the SPL, I believe before last week, she had something like a 10% win rate. She's kind of the Season 2 Thanatos. Remember back in Season 1, everyone was playing Thanatos non-stop, and it just didn't work.
Oh, top pick coming over for Ullr is going to be Bastet. Instantly locked in. Thor was available. But Bastet very, very strong in the current meta at the moment. The amount of damage he's putting out, very high. A lot of people building Transcendence on these days. She could also be played in the solo lane too, but not as often as you sometimes see with other assassins. But she can be put there as well, so a bit of an ambiguous pick for the most part.
Back on the other side, though, instantly locking in that Thor, pretty much one of the strongest junglers in the game right now. If he's not picked, he's almost certainly, if he's not picked in the first pick or two, he is almost certainly banned out. The ability to gank from halfway across the map with his Anvil of Dawn, not to mention his setup and damage, is potentially absurd. And then Athena locked in as well, very powerful support in general. With Sylvanas getting toned down a little bit, she kind of got bumped back up on the priority list for supports are concerned, and with that Defender of Olympus, again, providing a lot of global presence.
Geb and Ullr locked in as well now for Ullr. They've got their dual lane set up already. Geb dropped out for the most part top contention picks and bans. Used to be constantly banned or picked very, very early on, but with the rise of Sylvanas and Athena and the changes in Season 2 and the fact that gold went down a little bit, it made him a little bit longer on getting him online to that tanky stage where he's an issue. But if he can get through the laning phase, he's still a very strong Guardian in the late game. Great setup potential, good peel, and at the same time he's also got the ability to shield those targets.
And not to mention that crowd control immunity, protection, and removal on the stone shield as well can just be absolutely great. You cleanse off a taunt, cleanse off a stun from a Thor, you free somebody up to keep them alive throughout the fight. Xbalanque getting locked in on the other side right now as well for their AD carry. Going up against Ullr, he has a fairly decent matchup. Ullr early on, they tend to still rush for that Transcendence, and as it does take a decent bit of gold over the typical Devourer's Gauntlet rush, Ullr can struggle a little bit earlier on just with mana issues, but once he gets going later on, it's a fairly decent matchup between those two.
Yeah, we don't really see Transcendence that much on Ullr these days, though. That man's, very good on his Ullr as well. And I like the Ullr pick just because he's got decent matchups against most of the hunters that are currently in the meta right now. He can go up against most of them, and her being banned away obviously means that he's like almost top draw in terms of like ability to trade with most of them quite evenly. Against Xbalanque, he has the burst potential and the CC and escapes. He's such a nice all-round hunter right now in the meta, and Zatman's very, very good with him. The counter bans come out though. We're going to see Isis taken off the table, as well as Bakasura, so they don't want to be dealing with that one.
Yeah, Bakasura is kind of considered to be like, he has no bad matchups, almost is the way people like to put it. There's a couple where it's not necessarily in his favor, but he can just force the matchup to go even. And Isis, a bit more, maybe a little bit of a targeted ban, but comfort pick. We don't see too much of her. I mean, I think overall she's kind of just regarded as, like I said, a comfort pick, not really a top priority god.
Well, comfort pick you're talking about, there's Ullr locking in Vamana for more than likely the Anatola of solo laner. Or Anatoly in the main part, he's going to be locking in Vamana for himself, and Janus picks up for Lassus in the mid lane as well. Not someone that I've seen him play too much of, actually. He's mainly stuck to like the Isises, to the Agonies, to the Raws in the previous weeks, but nice to see a Janus pick up.
The Zhonghui. All
and
week last week. Yeah. I think it was that week too. He played it non-stop throughout the entire tournament. Everyone let him play that. And then they won first place. Not too surprising at that point. Hercules also, Poseidon was picked up along the way, fairly typical mid laner these days, with the ability to rush towards that Doom Orb, get that big burst coming out, that big wombo combo, the Whirlpool, the Kraken, the Tidal Surge. It's a pretty big boost in power for him early on, but it's going to be Hercules locked in for the final pick for Jamaican Hopscotch Krew. That's going to round up.
I do like the Hercules pick as well. The Hercules pick kind of helps him a little bit, but like you were about to say, I mean, have the Jamaican Hopscotch crew got in touch with the bobsleigh team and got hold of that lucky egg? Because they might need it up against this one. They're seeded 32 in this one. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, boys and girls. Get on down. It's Hopscotch time. We'll be right back as these guys load in.
All right, guys. Hello and welcome back. We're on to the first game of the day. It's going to be Team Ullr facing off against the Jamaican Hopscotch crew. From now on be known as JHK, because that's a very long-winded name, as Hindu put it back in Picks and Pans. So it's Team Ullr up against JHK in this first game of the North American Challenger Cup Week 4. I'm Zidon, here with Hindu Man. As right now, JHK looks like they're roaming through the jungle as a group.
I like what they've chosen to do here, grouping up as a team, trying to find a pick early on. I guess Ullr not going to expect anything crazy coming out of them. They played semi-safe and they're roaming slightly on the right, but Zatman's just chilling at this buff right now. And if he gets spotted here, War comes over the wall, and I think they're going to see Zatman. That's pretty much going to be the end of it. They're going to rotate across as a 5-man. I like the fact they're sticking together. That level 1 isn't that weak, in fairness to them, and they can have potential for kills with the Hercules, with the cripple coming out as well. And even if they need to, they can take a wall and a taunt as well. They won't like to, but they could have. The grouping up was a good decision. They get the nice early wards down very, very quickly, and the position of them I do like as well, because you're going to be able to see both buffs being started off to see if they're actually going to be any crazy invasions. And there's this one ward that's just placed right of the right-hand harpies towards mid lane, just for the early rotation that might come out from Ullr, so they can see the rotation to mid lane, keep an eye and protect their mid laner.
Exactly, that'll work out pretty nice. Vision, of course, is power and smite, and when you know where people are exactly, makes it a lot easier to plan out at how you're going to be dealing with them. So as the game gets underway, but no early invades coming out, like you said, that those wards will give Vision of anything they try to pull early on. They could potentially look for that delayed mana buff steal, but, you know, double hog versus double hog, not really too likely to be able to steal that one away. So it's going to be pretty much typical laning phase. Little advantage to red team, of course, as they head to mid lane. Janus will have decent wave clear early on to contend with the Poseidon, but does have to be careful early on, because it's not until about level 6 or level 7 until they're really able to just fully clear the wave in the mid lane.
Yeah, Pos can clear at level 2 a lot quicker than a Janus can, just because of how his setup is. So he's going to be a little bit careful, does Lasses in the early stages. He might take a bit of poke damage, as he's currently doing so there, but already you can see the rotation coming out from Dare to Care to the mid lane already. Poseidon well aware of that, already backing away.
Yep. Oh, actually, just stepped a little bit further. The minions that will be there to help him out. Going to drop a Razor Whip onto Edgar there. As the portal catches a couple minions, they're going to just look to push to the tower and deny a little bit of experience, and gold to the tower. As it looks like Ullr are going to be going for a back harpy invade, as we've been seeing to be very common so far in the Challenger Cup. Not
a surprise. The only thing I've got an issue with is Thor took his back harpies without the help of Poseidon, which means they're not sharing the jungle as well as they could be. They know that rotation happened in left. Thor's going to rotate over, find out it's gone, so is Poseidon. They're both going to look at it and go, well, okay, our back harpies are down. They should have really been trying to push out mid lane there. They should have known that rotation was coming and really just tried to counteract by pushing this mid lane in. But now they're going to be under pressure under the tower, and Dare to Care is going to put some poke on.
Yeah, both in the soul lane as well. Tough Luck getting a lot of poke from Anatoly in the process of doing his wave clear. Typically, you know, he has that mitigate wounds to heal himself back up. Does he actually have a point in it? He does. One thing, unfortunately, I've seen a couple times doing tournament casts is Hercules who refuses to take a point and mitigate wounds. It's kind of silly not to do it. He does have a point, however. So right now, Tough Luck is...
Gonna see an engagement going off as the damage comes out onto Edgar. Edgar's in a lot of trouble here. Dead Sky's gonna fight first, but gonna trade back though, as that last hit from the Archer minion secures Dare to Care. It appears Dare to Care's main game plan, all in all, is to die early on, but make sure he takes someone with him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of an advantage they're going to Ullr just because they got that first blood instead of just the answer kill. But answering 1-for-1 in a fight like that isn't a bad thing at all. Tough Luck in a soul lane still in a bit of a rough situation. Down to the red on his health bar. Look at the mid lane going forward. I mean, it was... I believe it was mid for mid, correct? Yeah, so... Or mid for jungler. So Bastet, not really going to affect it too much for that. You know, the speed buff had just worn off. She's not losing any mobility or ability to rotate around the map with that. So, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Pick up the back harpies on the way back to lane, and with mid harpy spawning a second. Yep, there's
killing Poseidon before these mid harpies is really big. Once again, they managed to hit level 5 quicker than him. Edgar's going to go down here to the cats and the bleed damage. Through space and time was fired by Lassis then, just in case he didn't secure him, but they do. They're going to get both harpies by the looks of it too.
He is looking for the left-hand side. Hog not going to come down in time. Aurora will pick those up. Right-hand side went on over to Derrick and Lassus. So split, small victory once again in the back of the kill. Cataclysm does come out. Apparently forgot to press L again, but they're looking for the kill onto Shopkin. Before he can get back onto the safety of the tower, Shockwave came out as well as the damage comes down. They're not going to dive too hard at this point in the game. It's still fairly early, although Shopkin does get picked up with the bleed off of Derrick towards the end of that one.
That's just Ullr abusing the situation. They understand their teammates are in range of the tower. They're not going to get aggro themselves, so they dive in too. Make sure they secure the kill for themselves. All back to base. Mid-Harpy's down. Nothing to farm. Good decision from Ullr. Keep the pressure on. Continue buying items. We should see Lassus pick up full boots here, I expect, on this journey back to his tower. In the right-hand lane as well, Toli's also gone back, picked up Ninja Tabby, are now online for him as well.
Maybe a little bit more of an interesting rush item initially. Typically, against that type of matchup, you expect maybe a Runeforged Hammer initially, but so far Anatoly has been winning that lane pretty handily. No kills as of yet, but Hercules has been pretty much pushed back to his tower. You can see a little bit of a gold difference already coming out. He's about 150, 200 gold or so behind right now. And going forward with those boots online, it's extra mobility for him. Makes it that much easier to dodge those Earthbreakers and driving strikes potentially. And yeah,
there's going to be a speed invade coming out from Ullr now. They already know when it's due to respawn here. They're in position already to try and contest this one. Derrick's going to be a little bit careful of the Kraken combo that can come out onto him. He has beads available though, so he can pounce out if he does get picked. Athena's ulting in. Thor's going up. Thor's too late on going up. So Athena dunks in too late to it. Derrick drops the cat, totally rotates around. Good taunt. Kraken doesn't really do too much damage. Boulder over the top only really hits the raw. Derrick gets out as well, thanks to through space and time used nicely from Lassus, and they're looking for more.
Yeah, they go Athena caught in that portal from Janus. Might not get out of this live, but we're trying to body block. Does find that kill in the tower as well. Lassus gets the cleanup kill onto Athena, and right now they're making a quick little rotation back to the central lane of the map, pushing the minions forward. This could also potentially, if they want to look for it, be a rotation over to that left-hand side of the map. Maybe possibly look for Gold Fury. Might be a little too early still yet, as they do have a jungle full of buffs to go and clean up.
Well, totally on the right side, going to try and steal away this blue buff against Hercules. It's going to be a battle of wills of who's going to use their abilities correctly. Driving strike was used by Herc. A little bit too early. I think he might lose that one. Or does he? He does, actually. I believe it goes down. Zapman gets a kill in the solo lane, thanks to that. Actually, not in the duo lane, rather, with the help of Aurora. And that was all just nicely timed. They picked up 2 kills and 2 buffs in the jungle as well.
Yeah, it works out pretty well. One thing you want to do when you're ahead early on with the back kills, make sure you're taking some sort of objective. Gold Fury at this point a little risky. You really can't look to take a tower this early on either, even if you siege up as a 5-man group. You don't have the damage to take the towers quickly. Invade and look for buffs. Look for their back carpy camps. Anything you take away from the enemy team is essentially something they're not going to get, and that's more gold, more experience, more buffs as well in your pocket potentially going forward, which can help you extend your gold lead and experience lead even further as the game continues on.
This has all started from this early rotation from Derrick, where he picked up that kill, traded in mid lane, but he denied Poseidon hitting level 5. They rotate back to the mid lane, kill him again, along with the support, pick up both Harpies, and from there it's just continue escalating in Ullr's favour. Then the invasion on speed buff happens. Left-hand Harpy's going to go to Hopscotch Krew this time round, though, but Zapman's on his way over.
Yeah, they could look for some potentially right-hand side. Looks like it's going to go to Anatoly. He's picking those up on his own. As the Kraken comes out mid lane and looking for the fight. Edgar very, very low on the back of that. Darkest Knights come in. They're looking to maybe counter-engage them or just deter any pursuing engagement to clean up house. Lassus coming around the backside, hoping maybe perhaps that Poseidon had maybe taken a less optimal path back to safety. Didn't catch him out, though. He's going to be able to recall back to base and heal up, but still a big grouping from Ullr in the middle of this map right now.
Yeah, they're still trying to look for a pick on this right hand in the middle lane if they can do at the moment. Red buff is down. They're looking again for the mid lane. Derrick comes in with the Razor Whip, going to do nice damage, get a double kill for himself. Shockwave was used, but wasn't really needed to secure another double kill for Derrick. And now the Gold Fury has been started.
Yeah, and with the support down, as well as the jungler, not really much they can do to look contest this one. Wrath of Gods is going to be available here in about 3, 2, there it goes. A little later on my count, but Team Ullr pick up the first goal for the game, just 7 minutes, 10 seconds in. And totally meanwhile, taking that mid lane tower and looking for the dive onto Edgar. Going to find that kill for Lassus, as Tough Luck right now, not in a good spot. Earthbreaker does find Aurora, not going to find the driving strike, however. They were kind of ready for that one in response. Stone stood on himself just to protect himself. Thor's up in the air.
Where's he going to land, though? Down into the middle of nowhere. The wall does not connect with Aurora. Lassus rotating totally around the backside again. A little bit of poke damage. There's going to be nothing else coming out from Ullr here. They've already done the work they wanted to. Going to be able to rotate back to lanes. Red buff is available. And Ullr's really just snowballed this really, really hard early on.
Yeah, we're just 7 minutes, 50 seconds in. It's already about a 6,000 gold lead in their favor. They're going to be looking to push these waves towards into the towers again. Over in the dual lane has really been kind of quiet so far, as Zatman got one kill earlier onto Xbalanque. But other than that, it's been kind of even over there. They're just kind of firing back and forth, but you can still see a bit of a gold lead starting to grow between that Gold Fury and that one kill. It's 1,000 gold difference between those guys, and the stacks as well. It's about a 30, math is hard, 20, 25 or so stack difference on those Varus gauntlets, so they have to be very careful going up 1v1. But otherwise, I expect Team Eager to start grouping the group up a little bit. Mid-Harpy's going to be spawning in a couple seconds, but they could seriously just look to fight. Like, they're going to group up in a lane, look to take a tower, and you either fight us or we take your tower for free, so you better try and fight us, and we're ahead right now, so we'll win a team fight.
Oh, zap. Left-hand side, going to go aggressive onto Xbalanque, coming around the backside to trade with him, landing all those autos, forcing out Rising Jackie, but Axe does connect, followed by the full burst damage of Zatman. The ultimate popped from Xbalanque, not going to find the auto attack. Meanwhile, though, Detica does find the kill. Zatman's diving, though.
He's going to look for it. He's going to find it. Health bars are getting quite low. Zap actually going to back off of that one. Fatalist going to be going back to base. Able to keep himself alive in the end. Zapman, one aggressive on that. If he's able to keep doing this going forward, which as we just saw, he's able to land those autos, find that stun, and Xbalanque really has no crowd control to respond to it.
That was just one of those situations where Xbalanque was losing the trade overall. Fatalness tried to trade back, missed his autos. Ullr hit every single one of his, and when that happens, you got to back up. And he managed to get out with the skin of his teeth, which is the main thing, but he does lose a wave to tower. Right inside, invasion happens once again.
Yep, and they get the speed buff. I'm not sure where that one ended up. It might actually just have rotted away, but the mana buff went on to Anatoly. As Aurora looks to rotate over, Harpies are respawning right now. They're moving straight into position to pick these up. Kingdon may be able to take these right side camps. Once again, it's only going to be to one person. One thing, again, getting that bit of extra experience shared across multiple people can help out so much over the course of the game. But, I mean, in a situation like this...
on Thor at the moment, but Thor's going to get back to the tower. He had a bit of an unstable vortex there for now. That's pretty much all she wrote at the moment for Eager. They're grouping up nicely, though, at the moment. Hopscotch Krew, they're finding themselves in a really tough predicament. It's all because Poseidon got focused early on by Detica. They're just getting the jungle invaded constantly. The Harpies went down, and now they're stealing away the red buff. And all they can really do is stand and watch.
Yeah, they're a little behind. Even if they have good vision in the jungle, but if you look at the ward placement right now, there are blue wards everywhere on the Hopscotch Krew side of the map. There is really nothing that they can do to surprise anyone Eager. Thor going up in the air, Cataclysm coming in right now as well. They're looking to fight, looking to counter engage right here, but it's not going their way. Thor in the back, they're trying to find the kill into Roar, but right now he's just too tanky for them.
Oh, double Kraken does connect thanks to a nice wall, but there's not much damage on it. Janus going to jump through. Lasses looking for the kill. Unstable Vortex does not connect. Meanwhile, on the backside, King Din does go down on that Thor to the bleed from Detica. That man wants something, though. He's not going to find anything around there. Maybe he will find the Athena. Is he going to go for this?
On the right lane as well, Anatoly picking up that kill onto Tough Luck. Even with the help of the tower, Anatoly just popped the Colossal Fury, was able to stay alive. Zatman still running through the jungle, finding a stun to Athena right now. One more hail of arrows from the sky, going to bring down that kill. And they might look to collapse in onto Xbalanque, maybe look for this left-hand tower, and they have the Gold Fury in about a minute to start worrying about as well.
Aurora will tank this as Lasses comes in through the portal. Unstable Vortex does connect. The Axe connects as well from Zatman. Auto should be enough to finish him. He's going to have to use the Rain of Arrows, though, to bring him down. Zatman goes onto a killing spree. Most of the team, that's a delayed deicide there coming out in favour of Eager. And as you said, Gold Fury spawning in 50 seconds.
Yep, right side tower just fell to Anatoly. Zatman's looking for the left-hand tier 1 as well. It's the last tier 1 standing on the map right now. All the tier 2 are still okay. They haven't really been touched yet by Team Eager, but they're going to be looking for those in a little while, I imagine. Right now, their attention is going to be on that Gold Fury, get the vision reestablished on that side of the map. I do have to give credit to Jamaican Hopscotch Krew. They are putting Sentry Ward after Sentry Ward down to deal with the vision coming out from Team Eager, but they are expensive. It's a pretty big drain to be counter-warding that heavily this early on, especially when you're behind a little bit.
The problem is, though, that you have to invest into that. If you don't invest, they're going to out-rotate you every step of the way. Hopscotch Krew realised they were against a team that are very good at rotations, so trying to ward up the best you can and keep an eye on these rotations. Look at the pings coming out from them. They know where people are. They're trying to get vision all the time. But left-hand side, again, big rotation from Detica and Lasses looking for a pick. They're not going to find one, thanks to the good defensive wards, but they might still get dived because the Aurora's around the back.
He's looking for the rollout knockback. Will he find a portal? Will catch out Athena with the shockwave coming down. Catcall for good measure. We'll find that kill by giving away to Zatman. King Din dropping down as well. You immediately using a hammer to teleport out of this one. Left side tower, not long for this world. Meanwhile, Anatoly split pushing down the right hand side, looking for the tier 2 with nobody there to stop him. He's going to find that quite quickly. Driving Strike does find Zatman, but he's going to be right. Cataclysm coming out from Geb. They're looking to clean up this fight.
Yeah, Aurora just managed to find one Detica with the other one thanks to the bleed. 2 members left standing here. Anatoly does take the right-hand side tier 2 tower. Surrender vote has begun for the Hopscotch Krew. They need this lucky egg, and they need it now.
Gold Fury getting stood up. 3 members of his glasses, meanwhile, zoning out, looking for a pick onto Tough Luck. Unstable Vortex, fortunately for him, did just miss. He's still hanging around. Just his mere presence on this left lane means that these guys cannot look to go for that Gold Fury steal. It's going to be the second one in the bag for Team Eager right now. It's going to push their gold lead up to about 13,000 gold as Zatman looks to rejoin this left lane. I don't know, what do they like to do? I mean, do they look to defend these towers, look for the big fight, try to hold out? Or they just kind of let the towers go and hope they can find a Fire Giant steal in a little bit.
That's a nice play on Lasses. That's a big play on Lasses. They're going to find a kill. That was nice work from Athena and the Hercules to bring him down. I mean, what do? They have to hope for a misplay from Eager more often than not. Lasses didn't really misplay that, but if they can catch people out like that, they could potentially get themselves back into it. I mean, to be honest, I said Lasses didn't misplay that, but he did have beads then. He just didn't respect the fact the burst was going to come out and do so much damage to him that he did drop down there for a second kill for the Hopscotch crew. And they're going to buy themselves a bit of time to farm up here. The problem is, though, even if they farm, look at the experience difference right now. It's only 13 minutes in. They're 19,000 experience behind.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, looking at the levels from roll to roll, it's about a 4 or 5 level difference across the board right now. 6 in the case of the junglers. Right now, Team Eager, I don't see them really going for Fire Giant anytime soon. They have the ability to win these fights just straight out looking for these remaining tier 2 towers. The Phoenixes, just where they are positioned on the map, they're a little harder to break through, but fights break out on the left-hand side as they caught Athena. Yeah,
they have got Athena actually going on to Xbalanque at the moment. He's going to go down to Zatman, picking up that kill as well. Xbalanque, you're dead. Yeah, man, but I have to defend the tier 2, says the rest of the team. They're going to group up on the left-hand side, hopefully to defend. But at the moment, Eager, more importantly, going for buffs. They might catch Thor here.
They're looking for him. Hammer teleport through the wall, plus to kind of bought him a little time, but now right now they're diving, trying to get up in the air. Emerald of Dawn not going to be channeled in time.
The burst.
Datacare finds that. The cat call at this point in time, doing a lot of damage. Not to mention just the damage off of Bastet herself. Aurora finds 2 members as well. They crack him out. Good crack, and damage not quite there until he finds a double kill under the tower. Only Hercules left standing. They're going to look to zone these guys out, reset tower aggro back to minions, and take this tier 2 again.
Datacare played this game amazingly so far. Like, he's so high level right now. The burst from his bleed alone is doing so much work. There's nothing the Hopscotch crew can do against this. Hercules against Thor, gonna eat a lot of bursts, and that bleed would have hit. Oh, it did hit. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. No, it didn't. Yes, regen. Oh, snipe!
Lassus gets it from downtown with that through space and time. It's one of those things, a blind shot, but sometimes it is just going to connect, and at that far away, despite being Hercules, despite having the mitigate wounds, ticking away and healing himself back up, was more than enough damage to bring him down. He has that Book of Thoth online, big spike of damage for Lassus with that one. And right now, Team Eager actually going back to base, and they did just bring down the remaining tier 2 towers. Only the Phoenix is left standing. And it looks like they may be looking for Fire Giant and start to look closing this game out, because they're all steamrolling straight towards that side of the map.
Yeah, they've got the opportunity to do it. I mean, Hercules still dead for another 5 seconds right now. I don't think there's any way Hopscotch crew can get their way back into it unless somebody gets over here right now. But who's going to be able to get there in time? Nobody is the answer, as the Fire Giant has begun. Poseidon, Hercules on the way, but they're going to be too little too late. And they might find out their own death in the meantime if they do rotate over there. They're going to give it up. Eager gets the Fire Giant 16 minutes in. Fire Giant group up right-hand lane, and here comes the push.
There's an opportunity here. We've seen 2 weeks running so far with the Challenger Cup matches, where a team gets the Fire Giant and then immediately crumbles horribly because they think they have the Fire Giant and they are invincible. So there's a pretty big window for JHK. They could look to use the Phoenix, but they're so far ahead. That's the other problem.
I think they are too far behind. Aurora's level 15. He's higher level than their whole team. That's the support. That is higher level than the whole enemy team. You know you're going to have a bad time when Geb's going to hurt you.
In right there, Athena just completely obliterated. Tough Luck as well, getting chased down by Datacare. He is not concerned that's Hercules. He is not the unkillable god this time around. That's going to be a second one going there out to those guys. Eager not concerned with the Phoenix, looking to clean up kills. Anatoly finds one more. With only 2 members left standing, they're looking to clean up a couple more. But Lassus trying to one-man tank up the Phoenix and kill it, and that wasn't working out too well. They're going to wait for the minions, but another kill coming on the back. Kingdom picked up by Zatman. They're going to look for this Phoenix, and more likely than not, just look straight for the Titan here in a moment.
Can they find the Titan is the question. Xbalanque, Athena on defense. Poison comes out from Xbalanque. He's trying to do what he can to poke down. There is minions in here that are focusing onto it. The Titan's slowly dropping. It's going to take a little bit of time right now. But Zatman's going to find the kill onto Fatalness, and now it's only Athena left standing.
She just got over the throw, trying to get back to the fountain. Aurora picks up that kill. As they're trying to defend right now, the Titans' health is still slowly but surely falling. They have not yet entered kill. Anatoly barely alive, but they have nobody nearby to clean him up. Thor going up in the air.
Totally dead.
They might put one on the table before the Titan falls. Will they? No, they will not.
Totally live.
Anatoly will just barely hold on towards the tail end of that mat. Bit of an engagement, but Team Ullr will bring down the Titan. 17 minutes, 39 seconds in. Hopscotch Krew just couldn't respond to that early pressure by Team Ullr.
29-2. Eager go on. Dare to Care for me was the MVP of that game by far. His rotation early and the pressure he put on put Eager into the lead and march Eager onto round 2, where they'll be up against either XS or Gucci Tanucci. That's right, Gucci Tanucci. Their names this week are marvelous, I must say. But guys, we'll be right back after this very short break, and we'll bring you a round 2 game.